Hi everyone. Okay, this is almost making me mad now because people are in denial of weather modification programs. This is just it, and they don't notice the chemtrails up in the sky. Why is everyone ignoring this so much? Okay, so this article, I want to show you this article here in the New York Times. And here are some comments over here. This is written by Nia Stokes, who is a climate policy political scientist at UCSB, University of California at Santa Barbara. So she's an academic, and she just goes on and on and on about climate change, how we have to do something that's in our backyard now, and just all about climate change. She mentions it so many times. Climate change helped cost my friends' businesses revenue. Climate change helped put my community in chaos for weeks. Climate change paved the way for lost lives next door. And, you know, it's just like she says a zillion times. And then some people over here in the comments, they agree with her or disagree with her. But not one person of the ones that I read mention weather modification. Okay, so now is weather modification the same as geoengineering? Well, probably, but weather modification has been going on forever and in Santa Barbara openly since around 1950, has not stopped. And why does no one mention these terms, weather modification? Don't you think that this is just insane, that officials are modifying the weather, and then look what happens? And also, okay, I want to show you this here. So in those comments over here, you know, people start saying, taking sides about Trump, and they're deniers or they're not deniers and all of this, but it doesn't ever mention weather modification. Okay, so this is what was in my previous video, the longer one. Okay, so this is Metabunk with Mick West, notice of intent to perform weather modification, and he's saying it's debunked because it's been done forever. I'll just go there real quick in case people didn't watch my other video. Okay, and then you can see proof of it down here. Notice of intention to modify natural precipitation by artificial means. So the chemicals like silver iodide that they originally were putting in, of course this is going to be experimented on and improved, advanced, or taking more and more chances or whatever. So he twists the truth, okay? And Santa Barbara County Water Agency weather modification, it just goes on and on. Solid proof that weather modification projects are happening. The Santa Barbara County Cloud Seeding Program, weather modification. Here's a PDF. I mean, you don't have to look too far to find all kinds of information just about Santa Barbara weather modification. So what about all the other cities, counties that can hire cloud seeding companies, and then more nefarious organizations like governments that can do things and they don't have to tell the public because it's classified? You know, these are the open ones. So, and then I do want to mention this. I made this video December 8th, fastest moving fires firemen have ever seen. Okay, so this is what they said. Why are how can fires suddenly be fast moving? It's because what they're consuming. They must have some, you know, something that is causing them to explode and expand and just like take on this force that they never have done before, which can be the directed energy weapons plus what's on the ground that has been dropped there in the way of the counter-inflammable, you know, substances. I forgot what it's called right now. That is like a fertilizer, you know, and this can make people sick also. So there are all these combinations of things. So first we have the fastest moving fires ever. We have the weather modification, and we have the, you know, the rains. And even during the rain itself, I saw lines in the sky, chemtrails, things being put in the sky at the time of the rain. You know, when I was in Santa Barbara, there was just so much going on in the sky that I couldn't even believe it. Like that big X right over my house. Right, it was probably over Montecito. Exactly. So what do these X's mean? You know, is it the Georgia Guidestones? And so many people don't know about the Georgia Guidestones either. So why is this? Okay, here's my video about the fastest moving fires, okay? During a briefing, okay, this was on the news. During a briefing, fireman mentioned he has never seen fires moving this fast. Makes you wonder, right? Okay, and weather modification. So back here, okay, there's the Beijing Weather Modification Office. This is official. So, and they don't make a secret of it. So why is everybody, why do people not even mention this topic? Don't mention global warming, climate change. Mention weather modification. I'm going to write a letter to the New York Times. They're not taking comments here anymore, but why don't we all write a letter to the New York Times and say, how come there is no investigation of weather modification that has been done since circa 1950? That's what I'm going to do. Anyway, it is kind of frustrating, especially when people like this, Leah Stokes, who is an academic, and she focuses on climate policy. You know, this is her job, and trying to get things passed, and then talking about this whole thing and blaming it on climate change. Because remember, if you're a climate denier, you're lumped in with Trump and considered a dummy, right? And setting the world back. But, so, you know, it's not fighting climate change. She wants people to fight climate change. But really, people should fight for the truth, you know, or promote the truth, or wake people up with the truth. And weather modification is a big chunk of the puzzle as far as truth goes. Okay, thank you for watching. I put the link for this down below, and God bless everyone, and catch you later.